How about that new 3DS?
Well, excuse me, I get emotional about that. I think it is one of those like last hurrahs for the 3DS before the next actual generation of handheld comes out.
I hope you're saying it's not true.
I what?
Well, because I bought one.
Well,
It's coming in the mail. Oops.
I think it will go over better than the DSi.
Oh, absolutely. It's offering a lot more than the DSi.
Well, it's offering a lot more, and I think there will be more exclusive and/or games that use the features than there were for the DSi. I think the DSi only had like 7 games that were like truly exclusive to it, or something like that. Something ridiculous.
It wasn't many. It wasn't many at all.
But I think this is like their last, like, we are going to put out the premier hardware in the 3DS line before they come out with the new handheld. Because, I mean, the DS, in some form or another, has been around for, like, almost a decade, if not more.
I know you're on a webcam, so I'm going to show this to you. This is my DS, 3DS. This is the first generation model. I got it the day it came out. And it's still kicking with me. And that's why I decided to get the new 3DS.
The only DS I own is the original big-ass brick DS. Got it day one. But yeah, I'm rocking that bad boy. I don't play it much anymore, but...
No, the 3DS is a monster now. It has got some stellar games on there. I recently beat Fire Emblem Awakening last weekend, I think it was. Really excited to beat that game. Really good game. So the Smash Brothers on the 3DS is immaculate. If I could give Nintendo
but
credit.
I will say the hate that the 2 things about the new 3DS. One, the hate that people spewed about the XL being the only one that was coming to the US was ridiculous, because if you look at any sales figures, the XL blew the regular one out of the water. So what's the point? 2, the whole not coming with the charging cable's a little daft, but I understand the logic. Because
I'm right there with the hate group. I have the pitchfork ready.
Here's my thing.
Okay, go ahead.
Nintendo needs to cut down costs. Because
don't you defend this.
Oh, I'm defending it.
Oh dear God.
Nintendo has to cut down costs. And most of the people who are buying this are buying a replacement device for one they already own and not a new one. So they don't need to include the cable.
Oh, I can see the dislikes coming in.
Yeah, it's my turn to gain a few.
Oh dear God. Nope, I'm not going to defend Nintendo on this one. Okay, there are plenty of people I know, both as an associate or at work, who the new 3DS is the one that they're getting because they did not want a DS, because they knew a new 3DS will eventually come out. And the fact it's not including a charging cable just tells them, go fuck yourself.
I have to disagree. I think that those people are the exception, not the rule. I think most people who are buying a new 3DS already have one.
I agree with you, but to the new adopters that are getting it,
buy a cable. Buy a cable. If 80%,
how dare you?
If 80% of your customers already have this device and it costs you, even if it only costs you
it costs them pennies. Those cables are copper.
But pennies over millions of systems is a lot of that shit adds up.
Ooh, I cannot believe you're defending this company.
I'm defending it.
I cannot believe this is.
It was the smartest business decision.
How dare you! Alright, you are. I don't know if you're trolling me or not.
No, I'm being honest. I know the listeners can't see this, but look at my face.
Came up with this bullshit type of decision. Most people getting an iPhone are just upgrading for their last iPhone, so we're not throwing in a charger. Oh, you want a charger? Buy one. How dare you? How dare you? Imagine a PlayStation 4 coming out the box without it just has a very standard charging cable too for the PlayStation 4 to plug it into an AC outlet. Imagine if they said most people buying a PlayStation 4 are upgrading from the PlayStation 2 or 3. Fortunately, the charging cable for both those systems are compatible, so we decided not to include one. You cannot defend this. I believe that, and this is me fighting for the consumer here. I believe that the moment you get something out of the box, you should have everything with it to make it work. And the fact it doesn't come with a charging cable is equivalent to buying a car
Did
and
the
it
original
not coming
game-
with a battery.
Real quick, did the original Game Boy come out with batteries included?
How dare
did
you?
not.
That is not a fair comparison. How?
It's the same thing.
Oh! Oh!
At least the DS comes with a rechargeable battery pack.
How much has Nintendo been paying you for this bullshit argument you are giving me now?
About 100 G's.
That is. Alright, I don't know if you're doing this to be contrarian. And once again, this is called unscripted gaming because none of this is fucking rehearsed. This is taking me by a complete shock.
Trust me, I can see his face. He is flabbergasted.
I am beside myself. It's the words I would use. No, I cannot defend this anymore. Yes, the original handheld systems that were battery operated didn't come with fucking batteries. Yeah, I'll concede that for a minute. But you know what else they didn't come with? Games. There are some accessories that are expected to be bought. Nintendo doesn't manufacture batteries. They manufacture games and game systems. Since a battery can be bought on at literally anywhere, any gas station, any grocery store, then yeah, not coming with like AA batteries is perfectly fine. But a charging cable, a proprietary charging cable that only works with Nintendo consoles should come in the box. There is no excuse for that. I reject your analogy 100%. I find it a false analogy. Sir, your rebuttal.
I'm not saying it's a false analogy. I'm just saying it's an analogy.
It's a really, really bad analogy.
Again, from a strictly business decision.
How dare you?
Makes sense.
I am the consumer. They can go F themselves with their business
Do
decisions.
you have a DS charging cable in your house?
We're not answering that question. It's
No.
irrelevant.
Do you have more than one charging cable in your house?
Again, it's irrelevant
Because he has more than one.
I am a returning Nintendo customer, but what
And
about
80%
the
of the
people
people-
that I personally know that have been in my home?
Give him one of your extras.
I can't believe you. Who are you? I want to be done with Josh.
Hey, me personally, I come at it from a couple different angles. Not only
All right. Hold on.
Same-
Let's back up. You said you were rocking the first Nintendo DS. Your charging cable, motherfucker, will not work with the new 3DS. Well, no, hear me out. You want to go out and
Okay.
buy a new 3DS? Respond.
I'll buy the 3DS and a charging cable.
All right. How much is a charging cable?
$10, $15,
All right.
whatever.
So you are willing to get taken over, because let's face it, by the time you go to a GameStop, you're not getting the Nintendo approved charging cable. Nope. Guess what? GameStop ran out of those because of course they did. All they have is the GameStop charging cables for the new 3DS, and guess what? They only happen to sell it in a pack that includes the car adapter that no one will ever use. So you just have to shell out $16. I know this because when I bought the new 3DS, I saw it on Best Buy's website. They were offering, the moment you bought the new 3DS, a charging cable along with it. And it just so happened to be the charging cable that comes with the car adapter, and that was the only option that they were giving you at the time. So you were giving companies and Nintendo carte blanche ability to screw you out of as much money as they can, because they know without a charging cable you cannot play the system.
But the thing is,
There is such a
Not-
thing as giving the free market too much power.
no, but here's my thing is, them not including the $17 charger represents a $50 decrease in the price of the entire console for
You
everybody.
don't know that.
But based on general knowledge of supply chain and things of that nature, you're looking at a decrease in price from about, or in the ballpark of $50.
Okay,
by them not including that charger.
I reject that notion because a charging cable is worth pennies. And you know what? Nintendo's a rich enough company that for the sake of the consumer, if they want to sell a handheld piece of hardware for $200, which by the way, for a 3DS, they're still making money on that thing at $200. Let's be real. Let's be honest here. They're making money on it for $200. And I'm on Best Buy's website right now. As of February 13th, 2015, bestbuy.com. You could buy the new 3DS, and for the charging cable, you don't have a $10 option. You have a $16 option, and that is your only option. As far as it's showing me right now.
Amazon.com, original Nintendo 3DS XL power charger.
Oh, cool. I get to order it online and have no way to play my new 3DS until it ships.
It'll ship at the same time as my 3DS.
Okay. I'm talking about going to a physical store to pick it up.
When was the last time I went to a physical store to buy a console?
God damn it! I am
a decade ago.
Let's take the normal customer, the normal mother that wants to get their child a new 3DS. Okay, I'm not arguing from the tech-specific consumer. I'm arguing from the standard consumer that wants to go buy this piece of hardware. Because let's face it, the 3DS is more geared towards younger adults or children. Let's be 100% honest. It's meant for all age groups. A mother goes in, wants to buy their child, son, daughter, whatever, a new 3DS. They buy it, doesn't have a charging cable. How screwed are they? I just find the argument of them not including a charging cable something that they need. This is Nintendo we're talking about here.
But the problem is Nintendo needs to cut costs, and that's why their execs took pay cuts years ago.
I heard about that, and that's because they marketed the Wii U like bullshit. And I will not be held financially responsible for their poor business.
But the thing is, you're not, because you have a charger. And 80% of the customers who are buying this console do. And it represents a savings to you by not including it. Because even though it costs pennies, at mass, that costs a lot of money. That's why a lot of computers, when you have a USB 3.0 port and a USB 2.0 port, because it represents a savings in cost, and at mass, that makes a difference, and that can represent $50 in savings, even for a penny product.
Josh, I'm going to ask you a simple question.
Yes.
When does it stop?
That's it.
At what point are corporations allowed to keep cutting needed accessories to play or use a product? At what point does that stop?
That's it.
You say it stops at the charger.
Yeah, well, I think that's it.
Well, if we're cutting costs, why can't it stop at like controllers?
Because you can, the DS will come out of the box ready to play. But also, you know what? If, let's say, the Xbox One came out and it used the exact same controller as the Xbox 360,
oh, dear God,
and there was a SKU of the Xbox One that said, hey, this doesn't have a controller, but it represents a $50 savings, I'd buy that product because I have Xbox 360 controllers. I don't need the extra controller.
But I don't even have the choice. If I had the choice to buy the console with a charger, I would still pick the one without the charger, but the people I know that want to buy it with a charger now have that option. They don't have that option. They're at the beck and call of wherever they get the console from. And that's what I mean by giving the corporation too much power when it comes to a product that you want to buy. When you give the corporation the ability to go ahead and say, okay, it is okay for you to not give me something that I need to use this product, I will have to go elsewhere to get it. Who, let's be honest, Nintendo's making some money on the side to officially use their proprietary products. Then you are giving that company more money than is due. I want to hear how
here's
I'm
what
wrong here.
What I'll say is, if it were a console that were coming out that was a very exclusive console, and there were console exclusives for it. Like this product came out, and there are games that you can only play on the new 3DS.
There are games you can only play on the new 3DS.
No, those games have exclusives to the new 3DS, but they're still playable on the old console.
I have to stop you right there before you finish your thought, and the only reason I'm stopping you is because you are incorrect. Xenosaga for the new 3DS is a new 3DS exclusive. It will not work on the regular 3DSs.
Okay, but I'll admit that I'm wrong there, but Xenosaga is also a very niche game.
How? The point is, you can't play it without a charging cable. And you need a new 3DS if you want to play it. So you have cut your market in twain by literally cutting off a specific piece of hardware that should have come in the box. The only reason I'm having this conversation here is because it affects people I know, and it's a shitty business practice. And if we let companies get away with shitty business practices like this, they're going to keep pushing that bar as far as they can until it reaches a breaking point. It's shit like this that could cause a collapse of the video game industry. And you know what? I know people are probably thinking I'm exaggerating here, but no, we might have to move on to another topic because we might have to move on to another topic of the potentiality of the collapse of the video game industry. As a matter of fact, we'll save that for the next podcast. But when it comes to consumers trying to take advantage of like a corporation, someone as big as Nintendo, let's not pretend Nintendo's hurting for money. They got money in the bank. They've got some cash. Yeah, their CEOs have to take a pay cut, but a pay cut from a CEO doesn't mean that we could live off of the pay cut of a CEO quite nicely, Josh.
Absolutely.
That quite nicely. Granted, it's not as nicely as they want, but normally when the CEO takes like a gigantic pay cut, it's because they have enough stock options, or they have enough money in the bank that they don't need to be paid anymore. For instance, Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook, he makes $1. He makes $1 a year. He's one of the richest people in the world. What's he need more money for? You know what I mean? He's got enough stock options, and he's got enough money saved in the bank from previously that you don't need to pay him anymore.
Yeah, you really just have to technically keep him on the payroll. I remember actually last year, 2 years ago, they actually had to split the stock so that Zuckerberg would maintain a controlling share because of as much as he'd sold for stuff. But that happens a lot in the corporate world, and that's really not having anything to do with this.
Yeah, neither here nor there, but it's worth a mention. But when you start giving companies across the world the ability to say, yes, you know what, you're literally doing something that is detrimental to the consumer, and we're saying, okay, that's okay, then, and I'll be the first to say I'm guilty of that because I bought a new 3DS. It's in the mail, coming to me as soon as possible. But I guess I'm part of the problem, is what I'm saying. But I'm part of the problem because I have one of the cables. To the people that don't have a cable, you know what? I don't know what to tell them, because Nintendo's already been doing this in the EU region for apparently quite a substantial amount of time, and they already did it in the Japan region, and it didn't matter. It sold still pretty well. So I guess they think that they can just keep getting away with it. But
It's not that they think they can keep getting away with it. It is that extensive market research told them that the people who are going to buy this, and the market is so saturated with chargers that yes, there are going to be issues, but for the vast majority of the people buying it, it is not going to be a problem.
Can you imagine if Sony tried to do this with the PSP? I mean, they already kind of do that bullshit.
But the PSP doesn't have the same kind of market saturation that the DS does.
Oh hell no! The PSP already doesn't even come with the necessary memory card.
Here's my thing. Why I can't get worked up about this. I feel like it is more a detriment to the instantaneous gaming and being able to play something out of the box to have to download a game that can take hours, and getting home and being like, oh, I need to run back to Walmart for 15 minutes and pick up a cable to charge this thing with.
I'm a little lost what you mean right there.
So having like basically, like, it's pretty clear that the world is moving towards a pretty much download-only society. Like, physical media is going
I will keep fighting
away.
that as hard as I can.
But even in physical media, half the time you have the game, but then you have to still download stuff, and that shit takes
You're talking about
hours,
day
depending
one
on your internet
patches.
connection. Day one patches, content boosters, texture packs, firmware updates, all that stuff. That stuff takes hours. Realizing you need a charging cable, that's a half hour tops. Run back to Walmart, grab one real quick.
How dare you?
But I'm just being honest.
You're,
I think
you're
it's
being
more of a
honest
problem-
because it sounds like you've been burned in the past and you're taking this as a small issue.
I just don't think it's an issue. I think if I'm gonna buy the new 3DS, I'd be like, oh, I need a cable, whatever. Get a cable. It's not that big a deal.
I mean, alright, so let's just say the companies can't charge whatever they want for the cable.
Market stuff.
I mean,
Because if somebody's gonna buy a $200 console and then all of a sudden come home and be like, oh, I have to buy a $50 cable. Maybe I'm gonna return this bad boy. And yeah, their first month sales figures are gonna look nice, but then the next month they're gonna come back with their return figures and it's like, ugh. And the investors are gonna be like, hey, assholes, stop.
stop what you're doing.
Yep.
I just don't get Nintendo as of late. I don't get their marketing. I don't get their product releases. The only reason I got a Wii U was for Smash Brothers.
Well, it's one of those things we kind of forget that they're a weird company to begin with. They do weird things.
I think their weird things are going to cost them in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're starting to. Hold on, I will defend the Wii U because I have a Wii U and the PS4. I don't have an Xbox One because why would you? I already have a computer, but it's just one of those things where it takes Nintendo always about 2 years with their console releases to really figure out what they're doing. There's very few first consoles that Nintendo released that released stellarly. The Super Nintendo. Okay, never mind. Never mind. As of late, is very.
Well, the problem is the past few years they have been doing these wacky input devices, and developers, even Nintendo developers, don't really know what to do them and how to effectively utilize them, and that scares people away.
Absolutely. I like the Wii U, but sometimes I wish I could just use a regular controller, and that's why I bought a Pro controller, because sometimes I just do. Sometimes I don't want a foot of plastic between me and my other hand. Sometimes I just...
Which, don't get me wrong, that controller feels surprisingly good in the hand, but sometimes you're just like, I'll use the Pro controller.
I don't like it for fighting games like Smash Brothers. It's just me.
Yeah.
It's just me. I feel it's a little gaudy. I have some people that I play Smash Brothers with that absolutely love it. That claim it's the best ever.
Well, and those are the kind of people that buy those things that attach to the bottom of controllers that like spread out your fingers, because that's been proven to be like more. I can't think of the word right now, but
Ergonomically sound.
That one.
Yeah, that one. Ergonomics. Well, we've gone from bashing Nintendo to talking good about Nintendo. How about we go ahead and call this particular one a night?
I think that's a good place to end it. We've come full circle on the Nintendo. I have a feeling we'll be back to it soon.
I still say fuck Nintendo, and yeah, I will still buy their products. I have Majora's Mask on pre-order.
Nintendo, if you're listening, please, for the love of God and all that is holy, give us a proper fucking Metroid game. You assholes.
Oh, they're gonna keep teasing you with it.
I don't want to talk about
Metroid
it.
Dread will never come out.
Oh, shut the fuck up. You don't know that's not coming out. But man, what was it? A few weeks ago, there was some Nintendo teases, and they're like, oh, Metroid. And there's like a Prime Trilogy on Wii U. Fucking assholes. Flipped a table or two.
It's something.
You may have kicked somebody out.
Star Fox is supposed to come out
sometime
sometime this year. I want to see some. He better stay in the R-Wing the entire time. I don't think I'm asking a lot. Like,
Stan.
Fox, don't you dare leave the R-Wing for any reason.
I hate to say it, but Fox is dead.
think so?
Yeah, not as dead as F-Zero, but it's dead.
No, you know what? You didn't watch the E3 2014. Yeah, E3 2014. Shigeru Miyamoto was showing off a new. It was blurred out, so you couldn't see specifics, but he was playing Star Fox on the Wii U in the background, and they did confirm it's coming out 2015.
They confirm a lot of things, Stan.
They
confirm a lot of things.
You know what? I saw like 5 seconds of blurry gameplay footage. That's all. That's good for me. That's all I need.
So you have a copy of Star Fox 2, right? Yeah, with there.
You're a bastard.
I know.
You're a best.
I love me some Star Fox, but though I will say Star Fox Adventure was pretty good. I don't care what anybody says.
I never played it.
Oh, good fucking game.
Is it?
Yeah. It's not a Star Fox game, but it's a good game.
When I play a Star Fox game, I don't want to play Zelda. I want to play Star Fox.
Well, it was good. Fox titties, whatever, you know.
Yeah, furry as fuck. If you know.
Well, you know, whatever. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, and zip.
Dear God, I did play Star Fox Assault, and should have stayed in that R-Wing. Should have never left. Had it just been the R-Wing sections, that would have been one of the best Star Fox games ever made. But nope.
But then, you know.
Then he constantly kept hopping out of it, and we had some shitty on-foot sections, and unforgivable, says Stan. Also, it was long. It was really long.
Yeah. That'll get you.
All right, let's go ahead right there.
Yeah, I think we've hit it. I think we've got some good topics for next time. The ruination of video games and the second bubble burst.
Let's that was Unscripted Gaming with your host, one Stan, and another
Josh.
All right, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.